Dani Japsuchi Dagi Chuni Gibe Sonamaki Dola Duvara Shu Sayu Junala Janjuba Dani Japsuchi Dagi Chuni Gibe Sonamaki Dola Duvara Shu So you don't know, Janjo Bodo, Nani, Jasuche, Nagi, Chini, Prola, Petches, Sure.
Oh, that is lama chibet chiki kuare.
This Jawa Kungi Tuji Lam, Nanda Gesu, Double Kudamshi, take us in the feeling of some bonus or something.
Did it?
Good anyway. Don't let me like you to the Chanda Ninja, have somebody don't know to choose some
I'm
good.
just thinking. No, you then the Latin.
Oh, really?
Then you think. Then it's only
Don't let no like you to the Chanda Ninja, have somebody origin. Don't let no. Don't let no. I think 79. Yeah.
Let's continue. But we should talk about 22 commitments.
22 commitments.
We're the first one.
Let me say, just want to skip that part. So you just want to move on. 79. Okay.
they that the Shannon said the like him. Test Lojung said diva.
Hello. So if you want, let me say, he can go through the list. So we actually cover up to 3, right? I guess 3. Yes. Sumba bodu dosha. Aji ida. Lugumbe. Sumba bodu dosha. I mean, I think the sung. I mean, jala yan thangka dijal kashin di.
Jadi dan dedi. Zawal di chi. Ani shima di. Di la di.
Don't let long like you with 3D chin wa. 3D chin. Sometimes you should have somebody to do wa. Don't let long. Okay, let me say, let's do this. Today we don't have enough time for this covering all this list, right? I'm gonna say, why don't we just do it next class? Okay, today we'll go to the next verse. Don't let lula. The 79 is giving and taking. Okay, so just let's cover that verse. Let's talk. We'll talk about that verse.
Dati jambata niji kumne janju janju tonglen kone janju usil kumchi tere. Dati tonglen sidu tonga sidu tambati jamba jambe mi pati shege. Lemba sinu niji mi pati shege. Dati tonglen di kanje chegure sinu lung le kimbe sinu lung pa lung chu ma pa tangju jamba jambe mi pati tonga di che. Lung chu mu jamba lembe nama janju karsa niji mi pati che.
Okay, verse number 79. Give and take, mount on the breath is the magic device, bringing love, compassion, and special mind. Giving and taking is Tibetan called Tonglen, right? Tonglen is there are 2 activities, giving and taking. So when you give away, so that is a practice of love, and when you take upon yourself, that is practice of compassion. So then this practice actually incorporate with our normal the breath process. So that's why it's called mount on the breath. Yeah.
That 26 said it, the party don't lembe tree electing said it, 20 said it, only moon can be 26 said it. Remember that 20 said it.
So in Tibetan, it's a tuldek. Tuldek means the what you call this? Here they translate as the magic device, right? Tuldek means exercise. So do you exercise this practice based on your breath?
다 tunde jensi. 다 잠다 니지 하베 삼바이스. 다 잠바 시제 탄데 동아디 잠바이 미베가 잠바디가. 렘바디 니지 디바 잠다 니지 하베 삼바이스. 다 삼시지. 다지 니가 초바들 할 삼시기야래.
So then next line says bringing love, right? Bringing love is your exhalation, your exhaling, okay? And compassion is your inhaling. It actually incorporates with that kind of action, that kind of process, breathing process. So then the last one says special mind. Special mind means the combination of these two practices, love and compassion, is called special mind.
다 로남 시도 칠레 칠레 시도 로안남 시베 가불레 치도 장주 승리 중거지 장주 심 다디 승리 시도 디 장주 심 사도 돈수 장주 심 데리 이 장주들이 장주 승리 중거지
So then it said the purpose of doing this practice is to save all sentient beings from the world great ocean. Okay, to save all sentient beings from world. Okay, there's a sea means samsara, so I think they translate it as world. Okay, samsaric ocean, ocean of samsara. Okay. And please bless me to awaken true body mind. In Tibetan, he said sem ni. Sem ni means the same ni means that kind of mind, something like that. Same ni. That actually refers to conventional bodhicitta.
다들 가르때는 잠바 공주다 인지 공주 세들이 다들은 이제 지단 잠바 공주다 인지 공주 세들이 대상 남부지 더기야지 나랑도 나바이에 고비야 말이야 잠바다 인지 공예들아 다들 네 잠바다 니지 세야지다 아니 잠바이 샤군 세야들 니 남바이 고야마 가르스나 다 잠바다 니지 세야지 철 마시베 켈링이야르바 잠바다 니지 니자지 켈링이야 니 디에서 잠바 군주 니지 군주 나한테 잠바코나 니지 마군바 디레 요새래 다디 그 니지 세야데 동네 수 레야르 지레바 제나냐 바다 신기 동네 때 제나냐 바다 다다 동네 군주 잠바 신기 동네 주 렌고야 제레바 디 대지 또 체르 지야르바 니지 저다다 이거 잠바 공야다 니지 공야스 이 중요해요 그지 잠바다 니지 제 디고네 디 전주 생충주 디다 남바 미션메 디나네 티바 친구 미션메
So when we look at the nature of the practice, this primarily talking about how to practice love and compassion. Yeah. So in general, practice of love and compassion is not unique to Buddhists. And that practice actually carried out by all other major traditions. And also, there are some group they believe, even though they don't believe in religions or any tradition, but they do practice love and compassion. But that's why this practice becomes more common. It's not unique to Buddhists, right? And then in some traditions, so they practice only love, not compassion, because compassion is much heavier, and then because Compassion is mainly trying to take upon all the sufferings of sentient beings upon yourself. So this is a little bit not, maybe it's just not easy for some group, some people. So they're willing to give away their love and happiness to other sentient beings. There are some people they are not willing to take upon sufferings for themselves. Yeah, so that's what they do. Only practice love practice, but not compassion practice. Okay. So then, so then the here in this text, when we talk about compassion, so this compassion is a very profound kind of practice of compassion. We try to take upon the sufferings of entire sentient beings. So this is unique to Mahayanas. So that's why there are practice of love and compassion in common with other people, but there is some of them are unique to Mahayanas. For instance, this compassion practice is taking up on entire sentient being suffering. That kind of vision or that kind of intention is only for the Mahayanas.
在印象，他今年，其他我都是，也，就其他全部印象，全部印象工作是要定的呀的。但是在业全部的全部印象工作是要这样吧。其他去，兄弟写不定呢，全部印象的女全部印象，错全部印象，生全部印象，去全部印象，全部是印象是呀的。
지금은 류 서와
셈
취해야지 동리시 워르
취해야 되다 동바람 취해야 되다 다음에 취해야 돼.
And also you can see in this practice, verse number 79, it requires a certain type of mindfulness. Yeah. Again, the mindfulness is it's becoming more common practice in our society. And then in the Buddhist in Buddhist tradition, we classify or we have 4 types of mindfulness practices. The mindfulness of your physical body, okay, and mindfulness of your feeling, and mindfulness on your mind, and mindfulness on your mindfulness on dharma. They call it dharma. So this particular dharma refers to the reality nature of the dharma, which is emptiness.
Lui tembanyi shati kandesi sigere lui tembanyi shati tuden le ju pichet tuden le ju sigere tuden ni kumya la surche tuden le ju so tembanyi shati kunjung le ju kunjung nyamne te chiste sem tembanyi shati ani gopa godengi nyamne gerbe chiche nyamne le proyache你去怎么一下的你蓝天的你可以做的蓝天了就不叫你去的你怎么写了就不去叫你去的工业的怎么一下是不的
So in our tradition, in Buddhist tradition, we have 4 types of mindfulness practices. This mindfulness, 4 types of mindfulness actually related to 4 Noble Truths. So these practices actually try to understand more about 4 Noble Truths. We use this practice to understand more about 4 Noble Truths or to enhance your ability or understanding of 4 Noble Truths. Yeah. When we meditate on our physical body or the mindful on our body, so that is practice of that practice is related to the first noble truth, which is truth of sufferings. Okay, truth of sufferings, and the second one is being mindful on feeling is more like a truth of origination. Okay, we try to enhance our understanding of truth of origination. And then the third one is being mindful on mind. Okay, mind is trying to understand the cessation of the truth of cessation, the nature of the truth of cessation. Yeah? And the last one is being mindful on dharma, is trying to gain the last type of Four Noble Truth, which is truth of path. Yeah, truth of path.
that there's a Jambani Shasiati Jambakran Mipat Tikarisi. Jambani Shati Karichi, there's not Jambani Shal Kumyati Dum Deborah Chiche Karisin Semla Nine. Kaya Yelami Chiva Sugurbe, David Mitre, Mount Mesus, Mount Churchill everything is some madam. Devil to David teach some madam. That is Dandagi. Shiva so much of us, the Shiva so you may give it. That we rang so Shiva Davan the mine. Temba never shall say, Telia Temba teach you to ten. Come get to you, but tell it Temba shall see.
The Tamal unit is
Ah,
Tamal unit is over.
no, did some of the person Temba shall come say the Cressa chili. Chujo somebody in and never in the Takanje. Wadi chili shubay in the Moshuba in the Kanga with the Chiadi, and then there's some Temba Shara Siati. Nego Kanga Siati. In which Kumbia to what did the Tanishas, Jenny Kunyat, the year.
So now this practice, the mindfulness practice, becoming more common, and then the basic mindfulness practice would be being your mind in the present. So that is called mindfulness as well. But that becomes more common, and but even if someone doesn't believe in any types of religion or any types of traditions, but they can actually do these practices. It doesn't require any beliefs or anything, because this can actually, they use this to block out their anxiety or their mental emotion and so on. So what happens is like there this kind of basic mindfulness practice is like if you pick it's a mind, right? So you're just focusing on your mind, the process of your mind in the present. You're not trying to make any plan in the future. You are not going back in your past and thinking about anything happens in your past. Just you're keeping your mind in the present moment. If you do that, so this mind becomes more calm and more peaceful because there's no any plan in the future, not making any plan in the future, and not actually remembering or not actually thinking about past any activities in past. Right? That's why that if you keep able to do that, if you keep your mind in the present moment, just thinking about that, so that actually gives you a little bit of ease and more calm in your mind. So we do this is the basic mindfulness practice.
Or then Ujumula Temba never shall. Ujumula Temba teach you to Tani. Chia, or to so that Temba Nishas comes Jenny. Ula Udu the name of Temba Nishas, Temba never shapas, Temba never shas, Temba the Ujila. Gigi to never tablet Jambanya Shabas, Tindetje, Jambanya Shatil, Ujumula minutes, similar minute, or Tindet Yard to Sukang, so the Namdogi, Nimbo, Namdogi, Namdo Mambucha into the Namdogi, in the same nature of Subiarva, Namdo the Shilichito. Collaborated Namdo Shilichito in the Kunia, that there is something very shas in this year.
So then also sometimes they use their breathing process for that kind of meditation, mindfulness meditation, and they just focus on the process of their breath going in and out, nothing else, nothing other than your process, your breath, right? So if you do that, now this kind of mindfulness are very useful. They're mainly trying to get away from sort of like conceptual thoughts. They're trying to block out any conceptual thoughts. They're just being in the present moment, and they're not making any assumption in their mind. So that's why their mind becomes present. So they don't think about future and past. So that's why their mind gets more peaceful. So that's why that kind of practice becomes more becoming more common.
That is that that's in去年 단다 temba insha shi se de lu temba insha se de lu me zamara ji konne tune di nimi shebe chedo lu me zamara konge ya de zo de ne sem ya choa temba insha ge choya seba de choa dawa jina seba dingi ya ba ta choa seba demba tone ne kunjula pontu lo jea chito choa demba nisha ngiya ta sem me da ba se de sem de keji jinga jibala tene sem ki tengdu gobang de jini ba hagu ya sem me da ba de community ni sem keji jinga jibala de hagu de pena nyamu bala soba tusu gobangun du jiarchi gobangun du jinis tungiya adine chme da na chhe temba ni shagi chhe dame ba kombala tene ta lamje juwe ba chhe dame ba kombe ane community tamba lamde ne juwe lamde
So in our tradition, when we meditate on four mindfulness, there's four types of mindfulness that are related to Four Noble Truths, right? So when we meditate on our body, physical body, so we trying to look the false or the disgust nature of this bad nature of our body. So then when we look into that more deeply, so then you will realize that that nature is impure, and because of that impure causes pain, sufferings in our body. This is how we try to be mindful on our body. Yeah, so that in that way we can understand the nature of the truth of suffering. Okay, truth of suffering, because this body is actually filled with all this impure stuff. So that's what that is the reason why we suffer. So we go into that kind of process meditation. Yeah? So then the second one is when we meditate on our feeling. So then the feeling is the main cause, or the main cause of our self actually binding into the samsara existence, because of our desire to all these feelings, the desire realm, or the what you call samsaric pleasure, all this. When we desire to for that kind of feeling, so then that actually feeling holds us or binding us into the samsara existence. Just so we can understand what are the causes of this suffering, sufferings, right? So then when we meditate on our mind, being mindful is on our mind. So then mind, when we do meditate on our mind, we are looking into momentary changing nature of the mind. That means like impermanence of the mind. So when we can see the first moment of our mind and the second moment of our mind is totally two different. So since they are two different, so then we see it can be changed in the second moment, and possibility changing. And there's a way you can change in the second moment. So when we see that, so then it give us hope that we can be liberated from like sufferings, because the second moment of suffering can be changed because the mind nature is being like a changing momentary. This is the reason. So that gives us hope. So then we can feel like there is a possibility of liberation because of the momentary change. Yeah. So then if you do that, so then when we look at the last part of the phenomena, so phenomena is morally we're looking into the selflessness of this selflessness of the phenomena. So then that is more like truth of truth of path. Okay, truth of path. This is more like we're meditating on emptiness, dharma or selflessness, or means meditating on emptiness.
No, that under the negative that Jamba Gumbata, Ninji Gumbas, Jamba Kuna Janja Gumne, and Juliari. Jamba Janja Minam Jane. Jamba Gundita that the other division that the Chimaru Yambati Chambarba. The other division and then a Chimaru Satavana Chene, and did somebody want to do Yavichit. Pena Sinjataram Maji Unibata, Maji Venus, Jingi Janju, and it Jin soon to be Chamba. Jin soon to be located that Jin disobedience, that caressing. They were from the water, the Jin courage with the water, the somebody. Chambati, Janja Kunentia. And need to Kunenji, Janja Kunentia. That Dande dealer, me Jita, don't learn making between this. Jamba the Niji would remain in a company.
So in the verse number 79, so it says, "Give and take mount on the bread is the magic device." Right? So the magic device, right? So this practice is talking about both practices, combining these two practices at the same time, right? So this practice can be done separately. Okay, so then you can do it just practice of giving and just practice of taking at a time. You don't need to do alternate. You don't need to alternate these two together when you do practice. So let's say if you do a practice of giving. So prior to that, you need to understand why you wanted to give away your the happiness to other sentient beings. So then you need to know that these sentient beings are very kind to me, right? So then how they extend kindness to me. So then you look into they've been my mother for different times. Because of that, so that I need to repair their kindness. So then you need to step back a little bit and find out why you are doing this practice. This is the reason why you're doing practice, because they are kind to me. I'm trying to repair their kindness. Then how you can repair them kindness and repair kindness back to them. Right? So then if you're able to give them happiness, this will be the best gift for them. So that's why you're trying to give your happiness for other sentient beings. In return, like your favor to them. They have been done many things to me, so that's I'm repaying their kindness. This should be your reasons why you're doing this practice. Yeah? And same thing, taking, the suffering. So why you're taking, you need to go through that. So then if you do this, so taking and giving can be separate, practice separated. You can separate it and do it like at a time, or you can join together and do it together.
That Jamba Kunju Kinda Devata Tereku than the Nachimaru Yamba Sambati Ponku. Taki Devata Tereku than the Nachimaru Yamba Sambata Ya said this name. Did you somebody Vipati to Nejete? Yadi Chimata Kubeung Senpai Shindalan to me, did you cook? Jamba Karasa Devata Tereku than the Nachimaru Yamba. Napatavara on the teacher shop. Near some any Mashi and the changing the nanny, Zawati Send me Zawati need to use the logic. Dine, ya, I need Jambala Nipate. Devata Division and then Chimaru, Patavara, Yani Yanti, Yilaje. Yanti, me by Shindachi, Yanti, Chilku, Yantavaranda, Yilachivatita, Gomsia di Yayan, Yilachavati, Jambat, Gumjit and the Jambat in the Yayan, similar Yilachavatilla. jampa gomsigere gomsedi yaya yile jebadile gomsigere gumji jeba semleya gumji jebadile whether these jampa gumji ti
When we do practice give or love, giving or love, these are two go together, right? Giving and love. So giving, when you do practice of giving or love, so love should be something like on a wish or will. You will. So I will, sort of like I will uh, free. No, I mean like I will um, give. Okay, give happiness for the sentient beings and causes of the happiness. You need to include the causes of the happiness as well. Yeah. So you will say like may all sentient beings be happy and encounter may happy and
The cause of happiness.
causes of the happiness. Meet with the causes of the happiness or create the causes of the happiness, something like that. You need to attach causes. You know, cause of the happiness, causes of happiness. This is when you reach in that understanding. So then you need to place your mind and mindfully fully on that understanding, that realization, that feeling, sort of that realization. So keep your mind on that. So think about like may all sentient beings be happy and causes of the happiness, maybe the causes of the happiness, create causes of the happiness. So you place your mind on that. Yeah, so then that is called meditation, or that is called mindful, being mindful on that, practice, sort of a practice. So then occasionally, so you should go back and think how sentient beings are kind to me and how they actually been as my mother in different times. So you need to go back into that kind of elements and that kind of meditation and come back to your original meditation, which is love. Love is like love here refers to wishing them to be happy and they meet with causes of happiness, right? This is your objective mind. I'm like the meditation object, right? So then go back to that. So if you do that, if you alternate, if you're going back and forth in that kind of way, so then your meditation becomes more stronger, and the vision will be more clear, and you will not lose that kind of object. Object here refers to wishing all sentient beings be happy and encounter with cause of happiness. Okay, so then you do that. You need to alternate. You need to go back to the reason why you are doing these practices. Occasional, sometime.
That 참사 아니야. 라 대화도 만나지. 라 그뒤에 대화 뒤에 두미전 말봐. 근데 민들은 나시 선제 탐지자. 네. 대화도 버샤다 이거 주된지. 네. 대외 품주를 된지 삼다. 대외 품주 다 간에만 버텨이야로. 된지 삼다 아니다. 두수도 대화된다는 지마로 삼바지지. 참 다 대화 되거나시 대화 되기야 말에 그 동네 되기야 말에 대화 되기야 그네시 간제지네 대화가 시다리 선발을지 아니 대화된다는 지만으로 선발을지 따라가는지.
And also sometimes you can think like you can use yourself as an example of why you need to do these practices, why you need to wish or help sentient beings be happy and encounter with their causes of happiness. Yeah, so use this as logic. Let's say like I myself always looking for happiness and I always wanted to be happy. So then it's similar in that way, and all sentient beings wanted to be happy. They're looking for happiness all the time. That's why I had to provide them happiness. You can think of that, right? That as an example, reason why you need to do these practices. And you should think that, so then I, as an individual, I'm looking for happiness and I know how to make myself happiness, how to create those causes of the happiness. And all these sentient beings, they are looking for happiness and hunting for happiness constantly, but they are lacking of understanding, or they're not knowing how to create the causes of the happiness. That's what made they actually be able to understand the causes of the happiness, so that they can engage in that. You can wish for them to have that kind of ability as well.
다티 아버지 검수네 다카르스네 선제를 넣지 자바 야부 검수네 선제를 넣지 제가 뒤위야 말봐. 티 니지 지단 잠바크란 두스 대화다 되나 지마로세 잠배 미quetti 차네 공부해미쇼 지 잠발이 녀야 붙여있는 사람이 이니지라 시행을 처음에 집어지 이쪽이 위아래 시행을 너밤이지야 시행을 동네들 견디고 삼바디 처음에 집어지 위아래 봐 잠바디 yapıyorlar diyorsan 잠바디 다 geçimiyim böyle dinleyeceğiz 잠바디 특히 언제 전주 무슨 개발을 잠바 구매하리 잠바 친구인 구매 잠바 친구 니지 친구 다 잠바 친구 써야 돼 선제 탐제미 니지 친구 쓰면 선제 탐제미 랑기 자다 바람마다 니 숨이야로 랑도 단다 잠바기 라는 저야래 라는 저이 여번하시 랑기 니는 저인 거야래 네 자다 아마를 저인 거야마 바람마티도 낭미지 셔비야 자르부티는 들 저 맞지 시다를 피기를 봐 다디 잠바 친구들 무슨은 네, 자기 밤에 가사 집합 저 그래서 왜 강의들 체들을 심지 집합 때문에 잠바 친구 세트 내가 이제는 집을 장그 자르지 잠배 밑바닥에 받던서나 잠바 친구들이 내가 인생다 아니 발마디는 다시 당님 지역으로 와 그때 라는 저는 신년에 저 팀들이 디나시다 발메신제를 저와요 발메신제들 라는 팬동무스 마징예를 들으스 방아스게 라는 팬동무스 신예들 다 니에를 지제 라는 팬동무스 마징예 너를 지니들 다르지 라는 팬마도 라는 너를 양매지 방메신제스게 어디래야지 섬디 키디 정가 그 남의 제를 샤시를 봐.
So when we talk about practice of love and compassion, so seemingly these two practices are separate practices. But if you profound practice of love, so the compassion of practice comes naturally, because practice of love is tend to give happiness for sentient beings. If you keep meditating on that, so trying to give happiness for sentient beings, which tend to be happy, which tend to encounter with the causes of the happiness. If you keep meditating on that, so then because of this meditation, power of your meditation, you will not harm sentient beings. You will kind of restraining from harming sentient beings. That is our practice of compassion. Yeah, not giving the pain or the suffering to the other sentient beings is a practice of compassion. So if you have practice of love, profound, very good practice of love, so then the practice of compassion comes naturally. So the same thing. If you have a practice of compassion, a very strong practice of compassion, so then the love comes naturally. So this kind of like alternate each other, helps each other. These two practices. But we have divided into two sets of practices, but they kind of like help each other when you do one or the other, right? So then, now we talk about the practice of love and compassion. So now there are different levels of love, practice of love, and different degrees of love, practice of love and compassion. So we do have love and compassion, like mind, like compassion, mind, and the love practice of not practice. I would say practice. It's love, okay? Because when we look at our loved ones, so we feel very and we have naturally compassion towards them and love towards them, something like that. Okay, love. Okay, so but that is love. You can call that as love and compassion. In when called chamba love and compassion. Right? But these are not great love and great compassion. And now there's a difference between love and great love, and compassion and great compassion. There's two differences. Great compassion and great love refers to or having same kind of vision or same feeling towards entire sentient beings. You're not making any distinguish between sentient beings. Normally, someone who helps to you, you feel like this a friend, right? Someone who doesn't have you, you will see this is like a neutral person. You don't actually care about them. If someone harms to you, so then you feel like these are your enemy. So we actually classify these three different groups of people in these three different things because of how it related to you. So it's like if someone if someone doing good for you, so that you consider as a friend. If someone doing nothing, nothing to you, so it's a neutral person. And if someone harms to you, you feel like this is an enemy, right? But the great compassion doesn't have that kind of separation. So you need to think like entire sentient beings, regardless of your relationship with this individual, whether they are help to you or not. So you need to include entire sentient beings. If you're able to do that, that is called great compassion or great love. Okay. So then when you have a great love and great compassion, this kind of ability, so then if you single out one individual, one sentient beings from your vision, you feel unhappy, you feel uneasy because this is not a great compassion or this is not a great love. That's why you will not be able to live out any sentient beings from your vision. You will always tend to include entire sentient beings because of your great compassion and great love.
That Jambada Niji Kumju studied Jambadinita, the Niji Kumju did it. That online going Niji going to Shangy to met Tamje Randi Lane Lambecone, and Niji Kumkuya. That did top Cheduga. Good dead 이 잠버디에 또 침버디 동는 군의 잠버디 구매하기 선제점 제품에 대화된 데는 치마루 삼백점 주기야 한립 되게 참자 봤던 게 되게 단에 아니 시행대 대화된 데 맞게 삼발에 구매하러 이 동는 그 군의 잠버 구매하기 또 침버입니다. 랑게 되게 단지 봤던 거 시기 동네 던져라는 렘베 거니 지우르바
So this the practice is the main practice is our love and compassion in this text, right? Love and compassion. So this love and compassion, we try to develop love and compassion based on dominant practice or giving and taking, based on practice of giving and taking, dominant practice. In general, this practice is more profound, more difficult practice because when you give away your happiness to other sentient beings, you are willing to give away any source of happiness to other sentient beings. This is very strong kind of mind or motivation, something like that. And especially the practice of compassion is much greater and much more difficult. Okay, because that kind of vision or that kind of mindset is willing to take upon all the other sentient beings suffering. So that's why that kind of mind needs very strong kind of motivation, strong kind of strong. I don't know how to say it, more powerful. Your mind has to be more powerful to do that kind of practices. In general, this is a very profound practice in order to develop love and compassion, and especially the practice of compassion is more difficult, more powerful, something like that.
Yeah, that is it. That need the Yapuchu Johnson, that thing. Send from the Tawatan and Demba Chebu to Meta Chebu to send somebody Yapuchu Chan to some Tata Tapshi Garados. That is something that touch Gardo Sanji Kumato. Sanji Kumasi, Shingakan say later, Maranzu to Majava. Kange say, Tap Mapuchi. Sanji told him to India. Maranzu Kange say, some look Sampuchi gave it, Kange say, Tap any Chatham Yamara. The word to do somebody Sanjay, the word to touch her down with the Sanjay. Means something, Sanjay to do somebody. Putting Jane here, that Jamba means should chamber to Johnson. That is the word and the young touch it down. Connect the reality. Courage of those in Sanji Kobanch took the top tsunami. There were the Yavi Tabdus, Chatham or Chia. To meditate Jayagi, Tab Chatham or Jungiarba, or dead is in a niche and Jusin. I am letting great Janjusin.
So then once you have the love and compassion, very profound, great love and compassion, so then that feeling actually force you to find a way to help sentient beings, a solution to help sentient beings. Okay? Then when you look at yourself, so then you'll find that we are not actually capable of doing that. So we cannot actually help in a certain level. So we cannot actually help sentient beings, even a single sentient beings. We are not actually ready for that. Right? So then how can we do that? How can we, even though we have these beautiful thoughts and beautiful intention, so how can we do that? How can we help sentient beings, make them happy and take away all the suffering from sentient beings? So then you will find that if you become a Buddha, Buddha is someone who has all the skills, someone who has all the knowledge, and someone who has that ability to help sentient beings, kind of like cook with all this complete kind of like ability to help sentient beings. Okay? So once you realize that, so then you will decide, because of your love and compassion, practice of love and compassion, force you to you to gain that kind of state, that kind of Buddhahood, Buddhahood state. So that so you're wishing or willing to become a Buddha yourself, to achieve enlightened state, it has to be forced by these two elements, these two practices, love and compassion. Love and compassion is the one actually force you to become a Buddha. So then you feel like you have all this knowledge, all this skill to help sentient beings. That way you can help sentient beings. That kind of mindset is called bodhicitta. So then you decided to become a Buddha, so to help sentient beings. That actually, that kind of this decision actually came from your practice of love and compassion.
Right, that it. That the Chanju Singing Jumper Singing said that that the Chanju Simtilla, Junde Nena doing Kune, Chanju Simki, Tashinyam Jiku Kunechi, Nietzsche, and the Tashinyam Jiku Kunechi. The Junde Menga doing Kunechi, Junde Menga doing my she ting so. Yung Jamba Ninji Salsam Janjusan.
Just louder. Right? So then the end of the verse it says, please bless me to awaken true Buddha mind. Right? This is the prayer you make. That's why you wanted to become a Buddha, to help sentient beings. Now the bodhicitta, Buddha mind or bodhicitta, you can develop that bodhicitta through like a different another practice, so-called six or seven causes and effect, right? Seven causes and effect, and there's two ways to gain bodhicitta. So one way to gain bodhicitta is like through your causes, practice of causes and effect. Six or seven causes and seven causes and effect. and one is called Da Xin Nyam Jie, means exchanging oneself and other based on equanimity.
Yeah.
Equanimity. Okay, something like that. Da Xin Nyam Jie. Da Xin means Da means self, right? Xin means other. Nyam means like make it equal, equanimity, right? J means then exchange. Okay, exchange. These are three stages actually. So this practice is more like the second one, the Dashi Namje. So like exchanging oneself and other, equanimity. I don't know how to put that into English. Anyway, so then the 7 causes and effects are Marshe. The first begins with Marshe. The feeling all sentient beings as your mother. Okay, thinking all sentient beings as your mother. Marshe. Tinde means remember their kindness. Tinso is willing to repair their kindness. You won't Tinso Mashi Tinso you won't get chamba. You won't get chamba. You won't get chamba means love. Love, certain type of love. You won't chamba. Ninja compassion. Right? And Haksam is that called a supreme mind. Yeah, Haksam. And then bodhicitta. And these are so you can there are 7 of them, 7 practices, 7 steps. So last one you can consider as a result, and all the rest, the prior 6 are the causes. So these are the causes actually how you develop the last 7th one. Okay, so now the practice of Tonglen, right? Dashi Nyamji. This is actually based on Dashi Nyam. Dashi Nyamji means exchanging oneself and other based on equanimity, something like that. Equanimity, okay? There's a Nyamji, we say equanimity, word called equanimity, right? And there you will find sometimes there's another phrase, same thing, equanimity. We use equanimity in some other different contexts. Here, when we say equanimity, the equanimity refers to an equal yourself and other sentient beings in equal, that they all of us willing to be happy, and all of us trying to get away from sufferings. In that sense, we are equal. Okay, equal in that sense. In another context, you will see equanimity. Equanimity, it says equanimity free from 당뇨. 당뇨. Okay, 니리차당 is just needs equanimity that is free from attachment and aversion. Okay, so when we say equanimity, attachment, and aversion, this is different than what we call here equanimity. These are 2 different things.
다티네 다시 냠바세야 되디인바. 다시 제와세야 돼. 다시 제와세야 되다. 란진지 당 시행진지로 치미야. 디파지야 돼. 다다버도 알아도 란진지 수 시행여도야. 다티나 파지네. 시행저 제와수 란여도 세야 되더니
So now it says exchange oneself and other, right? What we are actually exchanging, what we were changing here. So here, in general, normally we have very strong self-cherishing mind, right? and not at all sort of like the other cherishing mind, right? Now we are changing these two mental attitude. Instead of being self-cherishing, so we cherish other. Instead of like not being ignoring sort of like other, we don't put a lot of focus on ourselves. So this is how we change mental attitude, so towards other sentient beings and yourself.
다시 제세야 되라 신다리 신다라한테 세디 내버려봐 라 신다 파들이 신다들랑 제대 다시 제세야 돼 이년도제 그 삼바디제 되지 나진디 다시 진디 제야 되지.
So when we say changing oneself and other, it doesn't mean that like other becoming yourself and yourself becoming others, and putting something on others, what you have, or taking up in like someone else objective, I mean like in like the article, I mean like in material sense. Okay, it's not like we're exchanging in that way. So exchanging means like you're changing your mental attitude. So since so far we have self-cherishing, we change it to other cherishing.
다들이 다들
just seems
다들은 이제
좋아.
좋아.
Okay, any questions? No. Yes.
You repeat the 7 steps again.
Oh, 7 steps. Marche. Okay, marche means what's the technical terms for that? I don't know. Do you have any technical terms? I would say like just
thinking of all things as your mother.
what?
The 7 steps of
Yes.
thinking of all things as your mother.
Thinking of all of your being as a mother,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, this is They might have like some technical terms for that. I don't know.
There are, if you look it up on the internet, it's 7 causes of love, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want my translation, the first one is knowing or realizing all sentient beings as your mother. That is called marche. Tinden means like remembering their kindness, and then the tinso means tinso means willing to repair their kindness. Yeah. Yung chamba means it's a love. Yung chamba is love, and then the yung chamba
Compassion.
닝제 yes compassion. 안타사 용기 chamba 아니 닝제 compassion. Haksam is they call it haksam. Number the supreme mind. They're called supreme mind. Then you have bodhicitta. These are the 7.
다들서 다신염지 권의 전주도 셈 전주들 참바를 지하를 쓰게 봐. 야를 쓰게 돼. 전주도 셈 잠바라 마시 된지 맨 전주도 셈 다신염지 권의 전주도 셈데 가버려 봐. 가르에서는 전주도 셈서 상기 있고 같은데 삼바지고. 근데 지금 되면 아니 경험치를 좀 캐면은 도천 제가 전주 쓴 중요한 매버리 전주 상기지 고가 토야 매버 그래서 디 다지 로 장야를 지기는 되게 몇시 전주 다신염지 고네 그래서 마시 딘디를 수박도 마담버체 다신염지 권의 전주 셈 중수세야디 야한테도 유야매버려 그리네 많이 잠바다 진인지디 다라진지 그런다 신진지 인데 300번에 쓰게라 마시 딘디도 수고 말이스 라진지다 신진지 그런데 상네 아니 자신이 지금 자주 무슨 좀 주디 참바를 쓰기를 봐. 뒷참바를 써야 되다 경매지면 등에도 소리스 그러지를 봐. 이만 경매지면 등에다 잠바들인데 자주 무슨 양들을 지켜야 돼. 가보여를 봐.
So it said that the second type of practice, Dashinyam, exchanging oneself and other. So some people they claim that this is more practical practice in this time, this era. Okay? And this actually applies more sense to modern people. Yeah? Right? And also they said it doesn't have to be, if someone willing to practice exchanging oneself and other, doesn't have to be doesn't have to practice six causes and effect, practice of six causes and effect. Yeah, it doesn't require that. Without having that, so someone can actually develop bodhicitta, okay, bodhicitta, but just relying on exchanging oneself and other methods. Okay, but my personal view is that that is not actually, if you are just wanting to have beautiful thoughts and have like some ease in your mind, that is totally fine, right? You just do the practice of the changing, the method that is called like changing oneself and others. That is totally fine. Very beautiful. It gives you some ease in your mind and gives you some happiness, stuff like that. Okay, all these good things, right? But if you are very serious to become a Buddha, to have other sentient beings, so then you have at some point you have to believe in reincarnation, okay, future lives and the next life, right? So then without having believing in that, without knowing that in that fact, the notion of that about like a future life and next life. So then that practice will not make any sense. Yeah, they're just practicing on the exchanging oneself and other, trying to develop bodhicitta will not make any sense. Yeah, because because of that. So then, if you're very serious about this practice to become a Buddha, so you have to meditate on six causes and effect. You need to seven, yeah, seven causes and effect. You need to know about it, and you need to understand that. So then, if you do the other practice, that practice becomes very profound.
the Ranchinde the Shen in the city, community, Manam Jinji in the Queen Shesi Yerba. The Mati Chindi Mat Jubas in Marva. Manam Jinji in the Queen. Rani Jinji Kuba Kundi Kosituka. Ati Manam Jinji in the Queen Shi Sidutaba. Ani Mashi Lokiburba.
So then one thing that claim that is more efficient to develop bodhicitta, I mean like in the second type of practice, the exchanging oneself and other, they said that because the self-cherishing is the root causes of our problem and the other cherishing is the root causes of happiness. So this is the reason why they said you don't need to go through all this other stuff to just focus on that self-cherishing and other cherishing stuff like that, right? So if you said that, so then the other cherishing, what you refer to other cherishing. So what actually other cherishing means. So in text it says other cherishing means all cherishing entire mother sentient beings. So here you will see mother sentient beings. That means like entire sentient. You're talking about entire sentient beings, and somehow you need to make a connection with all these entire sentient beings.
That's it. Well, I mean,
That's,
No question. Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Can you ask Rinpoche to quickly review the mindfulness of the third and fourth noble truths in the practice? I didn't get that.
It looks like we need a whole course of class for this. Kidding. What are these?
What's it?
Same la, same same tempa nisha dan chue tempa nisha de this mang song lo xie sa. Ni mo ni wo this tinda kang san ji guo lai de la.
sem said chida sem said chida sem said jeri then shune shegin sem da simju sini sem said so sem said jeri two sem said ko jebdo jeri simju said di ko do yage chini Deva senior, sheriff senior, Temba senior to su. Temba seatico il David doing random che tembe chane, chile chingiaris, simjujeri, delia temba sierva. You kanga ku sunjugi, so simtigi, lega chini chute, simju senior. So sim seati. 아니 그랬으네. 저 같은 매번에 용네. 이제 치시 참치는 신의 야연이 지어를 봐. 이제 쌤 도스미 시게 도스미 시야지. 세리 자지. 제가 쌤 신이. 쌤다 심지는 신이 시게.
Doesn't my monitor then?
자기 쌤 전반에 샤스야디. 나랑 쌤디 계지 연가지. 계지는 매듭이 어렵지. 주어디 구매하더래. 쌤 전반에 샤게 쌤디 계지는 매듭이 이거 참은 이것들을 믿네.
So the mindfulness on being mindful on mind, right, is mainly trying to look at the momentary nature of the mind, how it changes moment to moment. Then we should begin to talk about like what kind of mind, what is the nature of the mind. He said there are two kinds of mind. One is called what you call this? It's also it's the main mind, right? Main mind, sort of like secondary mind, something they call mind and mental factor. Okay, mind and mental factor, right? So then the mental factor, there are many different things like faith, wisdom, memory. All of these are secondary types of things, secondary types of mind or the mental factors. And there's a man mind, or the mind is someone actually something. It goes from one life to another life. All the other mental factors are like worker is helping to the man mind. Workers, yeah, it's like workers. Yes, workers. They're helping to the man mind or the mind.
Workers or walkers?
Workers.
Uh-huh.
It's like servant, assistant, yeah.
And that
Yeah,
was for
assistant, more beautiful, yeah, nicer.
and that was for the third truth?
What, there's what?
That was for the third noble truth?
Third noble truth,
And
yes,
then
yes.
And then
Truth of, what was that? Truth of
cessation.
cessation. Yes, truth of, yes, truth of cessation, yes.
And then the fourth one?
Fourth one. 또 10어디 가렸어요.
다음에 쌤디 명문도 제를 쌤지를 봐. 계지를 경가지를 제 하고 있는데 명문도 제를 쌤디 명문도 제야요. 명문도 제를 쌤디 매팀벌을 지를 봐. 매팀벌을 지인지 정말 남시나 명문도 제를 쌤디 명문도 대화를 지. 제가 고분은 지기 버렸지. 야부치고나 어디 semdi tendo gopan ngi nyomo gopan ngi jiki bar kare se nyomo ye meta ba kichi meta bar ba nyomo de je semdi kichi meta ba insan namshi na nyomo de je semdi nyomo de tera ye jiki ba
So this mind, still we are at the third, okay? when we look at the mind, so you will see mind is being momentarily changing, right? Changing. And especially when we look at the mind that is filled with mental afflictions, sometimes they're called contaminated mind. Okay. When you look at that mind, that kind of mind, so mind itself is being changing momentarily, and then the mental afflictions is also being changing momentarily. Both of them are changing. Yeah? So then our mind, right? Mind's momentarily changing. So mind, in the first moment we have like a certain type of mental affliction on it. The second moment we take on like different types of mental afflictions, and it goes on different mental afflictions. That actually indicates that so these are not true. All of these are not true. The contamination portion of the mind, or the impure nature of the mind, and the mind itself is not absolute. It's not, can change. There's a possibility of changing. You can see it changing, momentary change in nature. That actually tells you that your mind can change.
다음에 최탐제 다음에 그렇지 고민이나 최다음에 가서야 돼. 최탐제 다음에 그렇지 고민인데 좀 남시나 제 공부를 때네. 이 다음에 무슨 뜻을 남기는 거야. 공부를 때네. 안티하고 요즘 남들 죽지.
So last one is you are looking into the actual reality nature of the things, right? Things. So they're trying to find out the empty nature of the things. So then you being mindful on that, then eventually you will see the dead nature directly.
Oh, yeah. Anita.
Any more questions? Yeah. No questions? Okay. We'll stop here and we're going to do talk. Okay. Dick also should do some other thing.
네. 다들이 남주스이야리스 남주스
Dortu ci sono scendi.
아,
Dortu ci sono scendi.
아,
Dortu ci sono scendi.
다들이 소다야디 제단이 전부는 다베시 신도 시작이
So today our talk is a very special talk practice because it's an auspicious day. Tsongkhapa, we call it Tsongkhapa Day, right? Tsongkhapa Day, and this is the time when Tsongkhapa, Shepherd, went to, or Misha says travel to different route. Okay.
다들이 제름 제 신도 식사되지 아니 제름 제 고난 순벌이 수야디 그래서 그래 다니 니네 몸벌 가와다스 뭔가 세지에 자와생긴 말로 세지 신지에 상기의 신지에 이런 뭔가 쓰게 아니 다니 니네 몸벌 가와다
얘가 근데 시기래.
리우징아 샴디마 마음 시비 우유 디젤 디타텔 세지
다니에
뭔지 주고 요라 쪽에 제 하거든
된다. 그래.
니면다
네.
이거데
이바지.
예 다니
다니 하나 되네. 엄마가
다스 다비시 신도 식사 지야르바 이니 다니 니 니네 몸벌 가와당 류쟁아라서 신감수 니 동아람디 지당 동아기 람디 지람리 니에 도쪽을 람디 치모세지 나쪽을 나림 치모세지 지당 제벌도 사무타베 예시 레버시아버칸 예산나리 젠도 페톤루스 Malam Shingam Denams, Tops, Malam Jamna Shingam Denasu, and Malam Telshows, and
The Dongagi Lamrim Chin and Kaba to Summer Lavasha of Hang, Lam Kesan now again to pay to do Pega to Miss Wore.
they got the Rutinata, Longasos.
Pega to Miss, Annie?
Malam
Jamna,
Jamna,
did I Jamna?
and then Jamna, that's a Malam Telshows.
Okay. So Ramesh is reading out from a text actually. Text actually written by Tsongkhapa himself. Okay? He said that when I leave this refers to Tibet, right? Here, I'm sorry, here. I will leave here to go to Ngonga. Ngonga is a pure land. It's a pure land that where Tsongkhapa attained enlightened state. Okay, he become Buddha in that pure land. That refers to that Ngonga. Ngonga means Ngonga means extreme joyful pure land, sort of like that, something like that. Okay. And then I go from here I go to that place and also go to Jana Ryuzenga. Ryuzenga means this is in China. In China, there is a place for Manjushri holy site. Okay, it's 5 mountains. So he said he will go to that pure land and that place. Okay, for what? Why? So then he said, and Donga Lamrin Chida. Donga Lamrin means Don means sutra, La means tantra, and he has 2 major texts. The one that is this is the Lamrin text, Lamrin practice or Lamrin text, and there's another version in tantric. It's called like tantric station path. Okay, these 2 in general, and cover to Samutawe lecture, especially the teachings on emptiness. Okay, so then the Lepa Shiva comes. So so I will go from here to these 2 places to explain or to show or to teach these teachings. Okay, these teachings. Then Kesanawe can debate to. So then Kesanawe can debate to means like going over there to just 2 places to give Kesanawa and means give beautiful sound to fortune beings. Okay, sound to their ear for fortune beings ear. A very poetic kind of thing. But anyway, I don't know if it makes it in English, but it means like I'm going to reveal these teachings, very beautiful teachings for like fortune people, fortune beings. Okay, if you make okay, so that means like if you make a prayer and a strong prayer, so you can be born in those 2 places and come listen to my teachings. Yeah.
Da Kawajendo, Dali Dundila, Lindu Chebe, Yudan Denis, Kawajendo, many San Jeremiah, Dundem, Yarba, Dundem, Lindu Cheba, Lindu Jene, Deep duty to do Dene. Get Karasure. Then Jube Kagar you to then down a choose. Lion, get them lion, probably you denies. Just at that, target to think Kawajing you to do Chava Jenny. And the dinner, did then any Jube any don't Java you do. It that to me Yarba, Tunde Sha, Usha, and it tell any Karasude. Jube Java you to then down a choose Chivachigris. It's a get them, but the Lanyan Pabe in it. You didn't take it is. Tower Jurus, Kanji Gumbu, the Tower Jurus,
So okay, anyway, this is very poetic. I'll just summarize. Okay, summarize. It says like my teaching. Dungden is it actually refers to the holy beings mummy, right, or the stupa. They put in stupa relics and stuff like that. Dungden means
진에
kind of
군대도 수행시키다.
and then the statue, it could be statue and teachings. All of these are talking referring to this kind of thing. Okay, they said the all these holy object will remain in this country, this country for a while and worshipped by followers. And after a while, the Yagalama tourists were at Papa Yusubi. So then, okay. So then, so then that relic refers to anything, right? Relic will travel to India, okay, India, Papa Yunus, India, and kind of reappears on my teachings from India.
라양 제외된 제외된버데 아니 자간에 라양 달게 돼 있어.
So that will appear again from Papa Yunus, India, okay, India.
냐마 자간에 주 따르러 봐. 라양 되네. 산제 그래서 나 부주 따르러 봐. 라양 자간에
okay. So okay, appears again from India. That means this teaching is originated from India, right? Came to Tibet, then going back to India, appear again means like this teaching has been in this country forever. So reappear means like kind of like restoring from that stage.
that 지금 디스물이 제사 that 제사 디다 남주세 디들이 그래서 제롬지 아니 신도 시베 주주티 다 신도 시에서 등만 가다로 정말 써봐 아니 간데 이비치네 여봐 어두수데.
So this is a very special day when he was traveling from this world to different world. Different world reference. In this text, it said, Nguanga means extreme joyful pure land, and the place called Jana Ryutsenga. We call it Jana Ryutsenga. Ryutsenga means holy five mountain site or something like that. And it says Sopa means so on. So that includes Sugawati pure land and so on.
That 제롬지 남다 시문에 남다 님의 희망
So normally this is very special occasion. This is a tradition we are supposed to discuss about Jetson Kappa's life, and we said we do not have enough time for that. So then in the future we might talk about his life. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. 단도 주로 돼.
사 시 그 중심에 또 자 레라 렌신 년대 gen다